silence where the lizards reign, and humans hide within the canyons deep, where every word is etched in ancient pain, and secrets are the only things to keep. The truth was bound within a silver band, a collar that would burn if lies were told. They wandered through the prehistoric land, while watching for the scales of green and gold. But truth is heavy as a mountain stone, when friends begin to doubt the path they've walked. The secrets of the marrow and the bone were whispered while the ancient hunters stalked. They left the valley for a city street, where Logan waited with the master's plan to make the slide and the connection meet, and trap the mind of every traveling man. The city of the angels stood so tall, but gravity was just a shifting ghost. Beneath the shadow of the ivory wall, they met the one who hated them the most. A double cross within a web of light, where fuel was stolen from the vortex core. They had to battle through the neon night to reach the opening of the final door. But Wade was haunted by a psychic's touch, in a world of prime and holy oracles. The power of the mind was far too much within those grand and golden pinnacles. An obsession born of visions in the dark, a love that felt like destiny or doom. They had to find the cold and vital spark to lead them from the prophet's velvet room. The sky turned purple as the timer screamed. The coordinates were spinning in the glass. They weren't as lucky as they ever dreamed, as they watched the different versions of them pass. The professor's face was etched in lines of doubt, a lingering shadow from the world before. He wondered what the slide was all about, as they landed on a new and distant shore. The air was thick with smoke and heavy lead, a world where every dream was bought and sold, where everything the previous version said was traded for a bag of heavy gold. They ran beneath a different dying sun, the blue light pulsing like a rhythmic drum. The race against the clock was never done, until the final fated day had come. Through every fracture in the cosmic glass, they see the lives they could have lived instead. They watch the ghosts of their own shadows pass, and follow where the previous travelers led. The timer is the only law they know, the vortex is the only home they find, with many miles and many worlds to go, to leave the echoes of the past behind. They jump into the spinning silver eye to find a world of water or a flame beneath the canopy of a different sky, where no one knows the traveler's real name. From the dinosaur's teeth to the psychic's hand, the script is written in the stars above, across the miles of every different land, in search of home and in search of love. The sky was fractured by a digital grid as they landed in a game of life and death, within the maze where lethal traps were hid, and every player drew a frantic breath. The rules were written in a ruthless code, where points were scored in blood and silver shell. They hurried down the artificial road to find a way to break the neon spell. But justice wears a dark and heavy mask in a world where Quinn was sentenced for a crime, a grim and cold and execution task, a race against the ticking clock of time. The dead man sliding on a televised stage, where ratings mattered more than what was true. They had to break the public's iron cage before the lethal current pulled them through. Then the clouds began to spin in angry green, a world of wind and static in the air. The greatest storm that they had ever seen, with electric ghosts and heavy, dark despair. The twister was a god they had to fight, within a valley where the light was barred. They struggled through the long and sparking night, while the surface of the earth was deeply scarred. But time can fold upon itself again, to show a world where Quinn was just a child, among the trees and in the cooling rain, before the traveler's heart was running wild. He saw the guardian of his younger days, a chance to fix the things he'd left behind, to guide the boy through all the coming maze, and ease the burden of the brilliant mind. They stood upon the edge of what they knew, as the timer hit the zero on the screen. The vortex opened up a violent blue to take them to the spaces in between. The professor felt the weight of every year, while Rembrandt hummed a song of better times. They pushed away the shadow of their fear, the world of games and social crimes. The multiverse is vast and ever cold, a collection of the choices we have made, from stories of the young and of the old, before the colors of the memory fade. The traveler is a ghost without a home, a nomad in the garden of the stars, across the great and cosmic honeycomb, to carry all their history and their scars. The blue light is a doorway and a wall, a bridge across the rivers of the soul. They listen for the siren and the call, to find the peace that makes the story whole. From the lethal game to the electric storm, the path is winding through the heavy mist, to find a world that's welcoming and warm, the only world they haven't yet seen exist. They jump into the swirling, silent deep, where gravity is nothing but a dream, with promises they never meant to keep, and sliding down the center of the stream. The script is written in the digital rain, as they vanish from the ground on which they stood, to trade the comfort for the coming pain, for the sake of every version of the good.